Okay, in today's Straight Talk phone video, we are looking at the ZTE Quartz. This is an all-new CDMA device from Straight Talk. It retails for $199.99. Being that it's CDMA, this means that you will be activated with more than likely Verizon, maybe Sprint, but I think it'll probably be Verizon. One thing to mention is that this phone is standard 3G speeds, so you don't get LTE on this thing. And I believe the reason for that is because I don't think Straight Talk has any CDMA LTE phones as of yet. All their LTE phones are for GSM, so they're all AT&T phones. The specs on this are pretty nice. The most obvious is the large 5.5-inch screen measured diagonally. The processor is a 1.2 quad-core unit, 1.2 gigahertz. Comes with Android 4.3, so it is a fairly new Android version. The camera on this is really nice because it's 8 megapixels. And then you do get an LED flash. The front-facing camera is 1 megapixel. But what's nice about the camera is really with this last batch of phones, Straight Talk finally upgraded from most of their phones having 5 megapixels to now it looks like some of these mid-end phones are coming with 8 megapixels on the camera resolution. Now on the design on this phone, it's pretty straightforward. I do like the design on this because it comes with this aluminum look trim that goes around the phone, so the phone looks really nice. It's a fairly handsome phone. It does come with a typical 3-button Android layout below the screen, and the buttons are backlit when they're pressed. Now, as far as the other buttons, they're pretty minimal. Of course, you get the volume and the lock/power button here on the right-hand side. On the top, you have your typical iPod-sized headphone jack, and then on the left, you have the charge port. But I think the main highlight on this phone, as I said earlier, is the large screen, which is 5.5 inches measured diagonally. And there we are as advertised, 5.5 inches measured diagonally. The height on this thing is a little bit more than 6 inches in height. And the width is about a little bit more than 3 inches. And just so you get an idea of the size of this thing, we'll go ahead and put a playing card up to it. So there we have it. It's considerably larger than a playing card. I would say it's about 1 3/4 worth of playing card in height, as you can see. So this phone is not small by any means. It's definitely not something that's going to fit in your pocket. So you'll need to either get a holster or carry this in a bag or a purse for the women out there. Now, as far as the rest of the phone goes, it comes with Android 4.3, so you get fairly typical Android apps. In fact, I didn't find any app in here that's out of the ordinary. So out of the box, you get all the standard Android apps, nothing extra. Of course, you have the Google Play Store, which is not restricted in any way by Straight Talk. You can download any free or paid app from there. Next, we have the Maps app, Google Maps. And being that this phone has a nice 1.2 quad-core processor, everything is pretty smooth and responsive. As you can see, one thing I will mention is that the screen is not as smooth and as slick out of the box as some of the other phones. So I don't know if that's something that'll get better with time, but one of the troubles that you're seeing now is the fact that your finger does not slide quite as smoothly on the screen. So I'm not sure if that's just the way the screen is or if it'll get better with time. Perhaps it just needs to be cleaned with alcohol or something. But do be aware of that. At least that's what I found out of the box, is that your fingers kind of have a drag a little bit more than usual when you're doing something like this on an app. So that was the Google Maps, and then lastly we'll show you YouTube, because of course this is a multimedia friendly phone, at least as far as the screen size goes. And I will tell you that videos do look great on this thing, which maybe you're not getting a good sense in the video, but it does look really nice when you're watching videos. Now the sound quality on this isn't bad. It could be better. The speaker is fairly small for a multimedia phone, as you can see. So that is a bit of a letdown there. And then the last item I want to talk about is the fact that this phone does not have a removable battery. So if you're someone who likes to keep phones for a very long time, keep in mind that you cannot replace the battery on this phone easily. Maybe this battery is replaceable. It doesn't say specifically that it isn't, but maybe you can stick something in there and remove that. I'm not sure. I don't want to mess with it too much. I don't want to break the phone. So as far as I can tell, the battery is not removable. It came installed on the phone already, which these usually don't. All the straight talk phones usually will come with a separate battery, not pre-installed, so that kind of tells me that this battery might not be replaceable. And then last is the fact that you don't get an SD card. So if you want, you'll actually definitely need an SD card, because the internal storage on this thing is pretty minimal, probably about 1 gig or so. This phone will take up to 32 gigs. But you do not get one from Straight Talk out of the box. And then I think lastly we'll go ahead and show you the phone dialer and texting interface. One of the things that I like about these large phones is the fact that the texting icon keys, or whatever you want to call them, are very large. So this phone is very easy to text on. These icons are pretty large, particularly when you have it in landscape mode. And then the phone dialer, of course, that's easy to operate too, because everything is, all the the icons are large as well. So I think that about wraps it up on this video. My last opinion on the phone is it worth the $199? Probably not. But again, if you need CDMA coverage for whatever reason, and you like that large screen, then this is probably the one to get.